Our focus this sir. The Supreme Court has put a stay on the Allahabad High Court ruling that excluded an attempt to rape charge in a case involving the sexual assault of a minor girl. Now, the High Court had determined that act such as grabbing the breast, breaking pyjama string and attempting to drag her beneath a culvert did not constitute an attempt to rape offence, but instead fell under aggravated sexual assault under the POCSO Act, which carries a lesser sentence. Now, a bench comprising Justices B.R. Gawai, A.J. Masi took so much cognizance of the order following widespread public criticism. Expressing concern now, the bench remarked that certain observations in the judgment demonstrated a complete lack of sensitivity on the part of the judge who delivered it. Describing the judgment as shocking, the Supreme Court also emphasized that it was not a hasty ruling but one delivered after nearly 4 months of deliberation, making its reasoning all the more alarming. Now, the court also further noted that observations reflected an inhuman approach and were entirely inconsistent with legal principles.
This is a judicial on the judicial side. I don't know the facts of that case, but certainly it sounded to me extreme and egregious to say things like that. And there is an inbuilt corrective. The Supreme Court has stepped in suo motu, which means you'll have the corrective soon. But I think it's absolutely right that you exercise this corrective in the rarest of rare cases. Normally, a judge has a lot of latitude and discretion in deciding on the facts of that case. He may find lack of intent, etc. But this sounds a little bizarre to me. And I have no doubt it will be corrected in the near future.
The Honorable Supreme Court observed that the observations made by the Allahabad High Court by its impugned order 17th March 2025 were completely insensitive, and considering the facts of the case, there was no reason why it was not an attempt to rape, and that is why the Supreme Court said that the observations were completely insensitive, and the Supreme Court has already stayed the impugned judgment of 17th March 2025.
The Supreme Court has expressed shock at the finding of the Allahabad High Court judge Ram Manohar Mishra, that Justice Ram Manohar Mishra, that grabbing of breast and also breaking the string of pyjama and dragging the victim under a culvert does not amount to attempt of rape, and said that these remarks exhibit a total lack of sensitivity on the part of the judge. These are observations unknown to canons of law, and accused the judge of a totally inhuman approach as far as this case is concerned. And the Supreme Court also made a comment that it's all the more shocking as these comments were not made at the spur of the moment, because judgment was reserved 4 months back, and also it means that there was application of mind on the part of the judge. Despite that, such remarks were made. Saying so, the Supreme Court, in a very significant development, stayed the Allahabad High Court judgment and directed that the judgment be placed before the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court for action he deems fit in this regard. A notice has been issued to the central government, UP government, and also accused in this case, and the Supreme Court has taken this issue very seriously, given the fact that it has directed Solicitor General of India Tushar Mehta and Attorney General of India R. Venkatramani to assist the Supreme Court in adjudicating this matter. As of now, this judgment is stayed, and Supreme Court has accused the judge of exhibiting total lack of sensitivity and making remarks totally unknown to the canons of law.
And viewers, amid all this, pressure is